You like my shirt?
It's solid.
Yeah. Bring back pinup girls. Hell, bring in pinup boys. I don't give a shit.
Okay.
That'll be the name of the episode. Pinup boys and playoff bubble. Roll the tape. Welcome to the Big Motor Small Blade podcast. I'm Buddy Pulley.
And I'm Seth Dolby.
You are Seth Dolby. And Indianapolis. It happened.
It did.
It happened. I'm excited actually to talk about this. I think it's gonna be a great episode.
I agree.
Yeah. I mean every episode is great. I do want to say thank you for everybody who's watching and listening.
We do appreciate it.
Because
does not go unnoticed.
Yeah, I mean, we like jerk off to it like the entire the uptick in like viewership the past couple weeks has been fucking awesome. I mean, obviously great racing has been happening, and obviously this little thing called Shane Van Gisbergen
we haven't milked it at all. We haven't milked it at all.
Yeah, haven't milked that at all. But I mean, honestly, it's something we're excited about. It seems like a lot of people are excited about, and we just appreciate everybody, tuning in. Keep doing that. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't subscribed, because we do this every week. And leave a comment, leave some feedback. What do you want to see? I mean, we're gaining some sort of an audience. Like, what do y'all want? You have a voice too.
You have a voice.
You have as much of a voice as Seth does.
I can edit everything if I feel like it, but I don't. But no, the Shane Van Gisbergen thing's got me to the point where I'm like trying to find like one of those Red Bull hats he wears, and I can't find it anywhere. I looked on the team store and they don't have it.
Too.
Yeah. So if anybody knows where you can find that, whatever that trucker one was with the red bill.
Oh, I want the gray one.
That one's solid too. That's a newer, I think. Yeah.
I
don't remember what brand the trucker was, but anyway, I really want that. I will settle for the other one. So if anybody has any clue, it's probably a team exclusive, but I'm gonna ask anyway.
Yeah. I know a guy over there at Trackhouse. Maybe he can help us out. Anyway, getting into, I guess the only midweek thing that happened was I know, shocker, Noah Gragson is out at Legacy Motor Club. They said Noah requested to be released from his contract. Do you buy that?
Honestly, he was looking forward to the off season in June. So a little bit.
I guess, yeah. He didn't even. That's the thing. Everybody's like, "Oh, he said he was looking forward to the off season." He wasn't saying that. He was saying he was looking forward to the off weekend that was coming up the very next week.
I don't know if you're bum fucking last in points. I'd be looking forward to the off season too.
Yeah. Now he's really bum fucking last in points.
It's true.
He's back there with the Cody Wares of the world. Anyway, I wrote this down in my notes like earlier this week because I was listening to I think it was Dirty Moto, and they were trying to handicap, this road course race and throwing out guys, and they came to Martin Truex, and obviously Martin Truex has won 4 races at Sonoma and a race at Watkins Glen, but really hadn't done dick anywhere else at a road course. And I kind of put down, we need to stop comparing road courses. But then literally all the guys we talk about that are good at road courses did good today. So I was like, all right, man, maybe that's not a point.
It is weird about Truex, though. He is really, really good at Sonoma. And then
Chase Elliott's not that good at Sonoma.
Chase Elliott's not that good at Sonoma comparatively, too. Yeah, that's definitely true. Truex didn't run great at Chicago. I don't know where the hell he ran at Coda. So
yeah, I don't think he's ever really done that great. He got wrecked.
Well, and then the whole Toyota where he was running before that. But then the whole Toyota narrative today, that didn't pan out at all. We had Fords and Chevys
shocked
up front.
About that. Yeah, I really thought Toyota was gonna show up and show. I said the 99 won the pole, but he ain't. There ain't a snowball's chance in hell he's gonna have a shot at winning this thing. I really thought I mean, it was looking like it. All the Toyotas were right there at the starting in, top handful of rows.
Yeah, but I mean, you had the two hinder guys, so the three hinder guys. Bowman wound up getting up there too.
Yeah.
And then obviously Suarez, and then we knew. I wonder if Shane Van Gisbergen would have been more of a contender in this race if his throttle situation wasn't a thing. I bet he would have been because Suarez was really quick. So
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I tell you what, Ricky Stenhouse versus the fucking world, bro. Like
literally the world.
Old Dick Stenhouse. He covered the Revolutionary War. He covered World War II right there. 1776 were the champs, apparently.
Apparently.
God, I mean, dude, what the hell are you doing, Ricky? Like,
yeah, I remember they had that onboard on. They were running that onboard for Kamui Kobayashi. I'm like, Ricky's coming in a little hard. Oh my god.
He just wrecked the man.
He did. It looked almost intentional. Like
it did.
Yeah.
I was convinced he did it.
Yeah, I don't know. It was funny seeing Button get him back though. That was kind of funny.
Oh, that was awesome. Yeah. I mean, dude, Daytona 500 champ versus the F1 world champ. Take your bets. My money's gonna be on Button every day.
Yeah. I didn't expect him to get physical though.
Yeah, I mean,
I guess he's run a few cup races now. He kind of gets the drill.
Well, yeah, I noticed he got a little bit more physical in Chicago. He was like, this is how they race. This is how I'm going to race.
Yeah, I mean, you gotta do that.
Yeah, exactly. Chase Elliott fans. Yeah, old Dick Stenhouse was on full display today. Yeah, I was waiting on him to get Rockefeller. Yeah, you covered you got to cover both axis powers there, bud. Like,
oof.
Oh,
there were more than just two, buddy.
Well, the two main ones. Yeah. Anyway, yeah. World War II was a long time ago, Ricky. Let it go. We're all friends here.
Well, no.
Oh.
No, I'm kidding.
Speaking of absolute just wrecking balls, what the fuck was Joey Logano doing today?
Joey Logano was doing Joey Logano things.
Yeah. I mean, dude, I think the narrative's been over the past couple of years that, Joey's calmed down. Joey has not calmed down. He's just not at the front doing this dumb fucking low percentage moves that he likes to make all the time. He's still doing them.
Yeah.
Today, prime example, lap 2 cleans out Justin Haley for nothing to do. You're like, the hell are you doing, bud?
And I mean, if that doesn't happen, we could have genuinely had a caution-free race, and that would have been awesome. But
yeah, but it's butterfly effect. That's some people were saying that butterfly effect. You change what the outcome. You know the quote.
Yes, definitely. I was just shocked that we had a turn 1 wreck on the restart. Joey, of course it was Joey, but
yeah.
It was only one car, and he didn't bring out a caution. I was like, okay, I guess this is a win-win. I guess I don't know.
Yeah, NASCAR was stingy with the cautions today.
I was glad because
I was too.
That's one of the big things that we complain about with road courses is how long it takes. Dude, I checked the phone with like 10 minutes or 10 laps left. It had barely been 2 hours. I was like, yeah, this race has flown by. Obviously, we didn't stop the race 15 times.
Huge piece of debris on pit road the last lap or two of the race.
Eric Almirola.
It was Eric Almirola. Yeah,
I think it was just the last lap.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he's a piece of debris every week, but he was very prominent in today.
They just start calling out debris turn 3, and it's Eric Almirola every time.
Just driving, or whatever he likes to call that.
They're like, what? Oh, it moved. It's in 4 now. Okay, it's on the straightaway now.
Yeah. It's in NASCAR 4.
Oh God. NASCAR Oval 1. Dale Jr., check it. The only series in the past 3 years that's run on the Indy Oval is IndyCar.
dude, like even if like NASCAR still like raced on the oval and like this, like it's still like the audacity to call it called Turn One Indianapolis,
Well,
NASCAR Turn One.
Yeah, I mean, if we
during a NASCAR,
yeah, if we had nipped this problem in the bud when the Roval started, where we just started calling people out. Not we, I mean, not we as in us. I mean, we as in like the entire collective, because this just sounded stupid the entire time. But for some reason, we just allowed Lenny Matticki, Dale Jr., bunch of guys to fucking call it that.
I know they both do it. Don't ever speak Dale Jr. and Lenny Matticki in the same breath. Lenny Matticki is the worst commentator I've ever heard in my entire life.
I can't believe Charlotte Motor Speedway signed back on.
He is terrible. If you ever go to Charlotte Motor Speedway and you hear the guy trying to explain what the fuck a pit stop is, trying to explain a guy carrying a tire, like he tries to break it down like it's like that's Lenny Matticki. And if you see him in the parking lot, swing on him. Like
I don't know what he looks like, and I don't really want to.
I know what he looks like. I've been looking for him. Anyway, meanwhile, back at the ranch,
just start heckling Lenny Matticki at the racetrack.
Fuck Lenny Matticki, dude. Top 5 most hated people in racing for me.
I agree. Yeah, I go to Charlotte every year for the Roval, and I'm like about to gouge my eardrums out.
Yeah,
I don't quite.
Another guy in the top 5 hated list for NASCAR, for me at least, is not Michael McDowell, but he's close. I really don't like the guy. I just want it to be known that he finally actually won a race. He finally earned a race win. He did not earn that Daytona 500 win. That was.
So you were saying that super speedway racing is not racing.
No, I'm saying plowing through 2 guys to win the race, Austin Dillon, is not how you win a race, and you didn't earn it. If people talk about ones that got away, Michael McDowell is +1 on the karma or the ether of races. He should not have won.
See, it doesn't bother me as bad because I know damn well Joey and Brad would have taken each other out anyway, so it doesn't bother me as bad.
Yeah, but
because they're Joey and Brad.
Yeah. But that being said, big win for Michael McDowell. And huge. Honestly, huge. I mean, dude, much as I don't like the guy, I gotta hand it to him. He drove a hell of a race. And I could see him running good, like top 5, top 3. I didn't see him coming out here and just mollywhopping. Well, he didn't mollywhop him, but he
close as you can get for that car. I would call it a mollywhopping.
Yeah, I mean it was vintage NASCAR. It was a vintage NASCAR race, like overall. But like you used to have the guys like I go back to like Johnny Benson at MB2 winning at Rockingham, like things like that. Smaller teams just coming out there and having a shot at it, and they proved it all year. Like front row, and I was thinking about front row's been in the sport since like 2005, and they finally are reaching like the playoff level potential.
Yeah,
now,
and I mean they've been there for a large portion of the season too.
Oh yeah,
so it's. I wouldn't say that I'm surprised at how well they ran today, to be honest. Like I figured they'd be about a top 5 car. But when you culminate it with the entire season, it's not really that shocking. Because they've been there all year.
Yeah, absolutely. I think I almost want to touch on this. Not only has Michael he's run better the past, couple really since he was put in the record books as winning the Daytona 500. That team is it's been a steady uphill climb for them ever since then. And I think obviously I said it last week, making the playoffs is a big deal, especially for a team like that. I mean, that's that's a big chunk of change that you get by just making the playoffs, and you won the Daytona 500. I mean, Ricky Stenhouse talked a lot about what that did for JTG, and you can only imagine what it did for Front Row. And so, I mean, that's they seems like they put that extra coin they got for winning those, and just just having a guy like Michael McDowell who doesn't wreck his own race car. Just put along and, get top 15s every week pretty much.
And I mean, he's been doing it the same way he did it today, which is just be smooth. That's what he did all day. He was smooth. I think he missed turn 7 like one time a little bit, but he was other than that, didn't put a foot wrong all day and was able to hold off Chase Elliott in a hinder car to win the race.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. I was about to say it was like a Chase Elliott road course win when that's one thing Chase is so good at, is just being absolutely just, smooth as a baby's ass. And yeah. Yeah. Front row, they also re-signed both McDowell and Todd Gilliland.
I was kind of surprised. I figured they'd bring Zane in.
Nah. I mean, Todd was in question for sure, but I think they've respected the fact that Todd has had a uptick in performance from last year, and even last year he was fine. He was as good as I felt like Todd Gilliland could have done, really, in the Cup Series. So I'm not shocked about that. I think a lot of people are shocked McDowell didn't go to the 10, McDowell didn't go to the 10. Which, if you're Michael McDowell, why the hell would you?
Today proved it.
I mean, holy shit, my guy. You like anybody who thinks Michael McDowell should go to the 10, look at where he finished versus where the 10 finished. They're right there at the start finish line. But one of them wasn't.
Well, okay, let's say where the 10 ran all day, which was about 19th. I'm not gonna give him shit for running out of gas and finishing 38th.
Oh, well,
that's on the team.
That's exactly what I was about to say. Look at the overall team as a whole, and look at the bunch of slapdicks. I'm going to use that word a lot tonight. A bunch of slapdicks they got over there at Stewart-Haas Racing. So
either way, the point stands that the best SHR car today was Briscoe, who always finds an extra gear at Indianapolis for some reason, and he only ran 8th, 9th, something like that.
Yeah, I mean Kevin Harvick with broken ribs, voice crack. With broken ribs is just carrying that steam. Now, he ran like shit today.
Did he confirm that they were broken, or?
I don't know. I'm gonna say they're broken. I'm gonna say he broke all of his ribs and
all of his ribs. Wow.
Yeah, he broke all of his ribs, and he's just been they're having a hell of a party next door. Anyway, fell down the steps of Italy, hurt his ribs pretty bad, is what he said. So, and it's still racking up, no big deal. I'm just going to drop a top 5 here, top 10 there.
Yeah. That's
Kevin fucking Harvick.
Kevin Harvick.
Yeah. Yeah. Then his teammates are, wherever they are.
So SHR right now is kind of like that dragon meme where 2 of them are mean and then one of them's derpy, but it's one of them is normal and then 3 of them are derpy.
Yeah.
It's like that.
Yeah. I don't know. GG Michael McDowell, he's in the playoffs. He already was, I think, right?
He was close.
No, he was close enough. He would have been.
Yeah.
Obviously, the big story, the reason why I was excited for the race, I don't give a damn about Mike McDowell. Shane Van Gisbergen and friends. Today,
sounds
Shane,
like a kid's show title.
Yeah. Shane racked up another top 10. He just keeps putting them away, man. Just every race he shows up to, putting in a top 10, he's really being consistent. Like
all of them,
all two of them. No, I mean he ran a okay. This is about.
Do you want to talk about the truck race first? I feel like that's more pertinent.
I forgot he ran a truck race.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. He finished
19th
in the truck race.
First car lap down, correct?
Yeah.
Yes.
First truck lap down.
Sorry.
Yeah.
First motorized vehicle upon racetrack.
I wonder if Shane Van Gisbergen ever raced a Ute over there in Australia.
I don't know. It's a great question.
Yeah.
I wonder if that's on his racing reference page.
I don't know. We didn't look it up. But yeah, no, I thought he did a hell of a job. I mean, he kept his nose clean the entire night. He learned.
Truck race, sorry.
Truck race, yeah. He was put in compromising positions, and he handled it like a veteran.
Yeah.
I mean, I thought the truck race was impressive. I think I put it more on. I don't know. Yeah, I mean, it's the man's first paved oval race. Like,
I think that was the best that you could have possibly expected out of this.
Yeah.
I think
he ran almost all the laps and kept his nose clean and had a respectable run. I don't think there's nothing you could have done different. He described it as fun as hell. The man, that's the thing I love the most about this is he is having a fucking blast out here.
Yeah.
And like also I will say, Shane, you've gotten very lucky because we haven't seen the typical NASCAR in the 3 races you've run. Like I was shocked at how prim and proper that truck race was.
I wonder if it's like everyone knows, we're going to have an international audience for this. Let's not look like morons.
Wallace Allen doesn't give a shit.
You're probably right.
I think Wallace Allen gets its shit. What's Chris Hacker doing?
I was going to give him the benefit of the doubt, but you're right.
Haley Deegan didn't give a damn.
Haley Deegan is an enigma, and we can talk about that later. But I don't know. I think the thing with Shane right now, especially on ovals, is, and it clearly he gets this, obviously. But
speaking of he gets us, we'll talk about that later.
Clearly he gets to this point, but it's all about the process right now. It's not really about the result. And luckily people aren't worrying about exactly where he finished. 19th on paper is like, okay, whatever, but that's as good as you could do it. 19th, keep the nose clean. Yeah. It's perfect.
And it sounds like he's gonna run a plethora of races next year, like between Xfinity Truck and Cup. I would imagine he's going to be in the Project 91 car. I would imagine probably most, if not all, the road courses, probably a couple ovals. I would imagine he's going to run. I don't know if he'll run full-time Xfinity, but I would willing to bet he'd have a chunk of races in there, probably in the Colleague 10 all-star car. That might be one. And then the 41 truck, probably. I feel like he's going to get a full season's worth of racing, maybe not all, and maybe not run full time, but I think he'll probably get a season's worth.
And then maybe Kyle Larson can start dragging him over to some high limit stuff or some World of Outlaws stuff or something like that. Yeah, that'd be cool.
I want to see Shane run. I want to see him run Charlotte.
I want to, in a few years, once he gets comfortable on ovals, I want to see him run Indy 500.
He could do it. I think he could do it.
I bet he could do it.
I don't know if he would, but I think he could.
Sounds like he's down for whatever.
Speaking of Charlotte, though, he did say something. He said something about Charlotte Roval. He said that'd be a good one.
Yeah.
I want him to run that Roval. I think the Roval, I think he'd be better at the Roval than he would like Indy. I think it suits him more.
Probably, but the teams we've run what, 4 or 5 Roval races now?
But the man ran top 10 today. No one's consistent at the Roval unless you're driving a 9 car.
I was about to say Chase Elliott's been pretty consistent at the
Yeah,
Roval.
like unless you're Chase Elliott, you haven't. No one's been real consistent at the Roval. I'm willing to bet he could run pretty good at the Roval. I want to see him in an Xfinity car at the Roval.
Yeah.
Or in addition to the Cup car.
Well, now that Allmendinger can't run the Xfinity race, so
yeah.
Perfect timing.
Mm-hmm.
Perfect.
Yeah, and it's getting to the Cup race. He was scrappy today.
Yeah, he was. I wasn't expecting it.
Yeah, he sent it in there under Bell and somebody else there at one point. And kind of just bustled, which I mean, vintage V8 supercar racing. He's been talking about how he doesn't like how they've gotten, they've kind of gotten gun shy with their physical contact in V8 supercars, and I guess he's getting out some frustrations today, which and none of it was egregious. I mean, he just gave back what they gave to him, and I think that was something that we all kind of thought, okay, how's he going to handle that? Because it can be a bit of a sometimes with these guys who haven't run NASCAR before, don't have a ton of experience, they're bringing a knife to a gunfight, and I thought he handled it very well.
He definitely did get Chase or Ty Gibbs, though. There's no doubt about that.
I don't think he did, because I think you
don't think he got Ty Gibbs.
I mean, he did. He hit him, but I don't think it's as much on Shane as I think people want to put it. Because you look at it, Bell didn't give Gibbs a whole lot of room, and they hit each other, and then it almost seemed like Ty, he didn't back into Shane's headlight, but he definitely, I don't think Shane was really expecting what happened. And once the car's in front, like cross your nose, I mean, what are you gonna do? You gotta go. So
either way, Ty Gibbs got over the radio and said, "He got us."
Yeah. Yeah, you damn right he got us. Yeah, that's someone. Shane Van Gisbergen, he gets us.
He does.
I don't know about that other guy, but he gets us.
I almost tweeted.
I'll read his book. That's for damn sure.
I would too. Yeah, that would be fun. I damn near tweeted Shane Van Gisbergen doing the Lord's work out here.
Dude, did you hear? I don't remember who he was interviewing with. I don't know if it was NBC or somebody else, but he said they were like, "You had contact with 54." Yeah, he waved at me. I don't know who that is, but and I was like, yes. Someone did say they were like, he raced Ty how Ty races everybody else.
Yeah, it's harder argument to make right now because Ty's been super clean this year, but
yeah.
It'll come back, I'm sure.
Oh, I'm sure it will. He was damn glued to Christopher Bell today, though.
A lot of guys were glued to each other for a long time in this race, which helped. I think it made it more interesting.
I think that was another thing that reminded me of vintage NASCAR. You used to see guys like they'd just be, just it'd be a dog fight the entire day between the same couple guys, just fighting for everything. And that's what it was, man. And that's one thing that impressed me the most about Shane is it was the guys in the NASCAR Cup Series for the most part. I mean, you interchange a couple guys, but it was the Larsons, the Elliots, the Bells, the Reddicks, the Kyle Busch, Chris Buescher, the guys who have been hot this year or just been hot in the past year in Cup. He was up there racing with them and holding his own and, giving back what they gave to him. And, it was really, as he said, fair racing. And I think that was the most impressive thing. I think you can almost look at the result here and you kind of turn a blind eye to, tenths, nothing to, I don't know the phrase.
Scoff at?
Scoff. Thank you. I couldn't think of the word. Nothing to scoff at, but I think you got to look at what we saw in Chicago, look at his racecraft and it was very good.
Yeah, and I mean, like I said earlier, all that with the throttle issue, which I'm sure hampered the performance a little bit, and the pit crew was the slowness of the pit crew, which again, nothing really against them. They're a third crew that comes in. It showed up more here than it did at Chicago because Shane had such a bigger gap. He could really make up for it.
Seemed like 99 was using a fourth pit crew.
They had a really good first stop.
They had a hell of a first stop. Yeah. Hold on. I don't want to get on my high horse too soon here. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, obviously he had an issue with the throttle sticking that probably hindered his result because there for a while it seemed like he was making it mounting a charge, and you don't know how much that affected him there at the end. But I mean, like I said, it was just an impressive overall drive.
Yeah, agreed.
Looking at everybody else, Brodie Kostecki finished 22nd. He got 20th, 19th, and kind of just that was kind of where he made his living today. I was impressed with him for sure. I don't think that car,
he did start in the back, correct?
Start in the back.
Yeah.
In a backup car, he got 2 laps of practice. I mean, so I don't, I think Brodie, he comes back, he has a much better result. Yeah. I thought maybe 15th was going to be about where Brodie probably ran, and fell a couple spots short. So I'd like to see him give it another go and see what happens. He did impress me with his speed just overall as soon as he hopped in the car.
Yeah.
This week, but a guy who didn't impress me, Kamui Kobayashi. I expected a whole lot more out of him.
So much for all that speed we were hearing about.
Dude, yeah, what the hell?
Yeah.
Like, he was supposed to be, like, I mean, granted, we did hear it from Denny Hamlin. Denny Hamlin's full of shit, so, I mean.
We heard it from Dale Jr., too.
Yeah, well, I'm sure he heard it from Denny Hamlin.
That's probably true, yeah.
Again, Denny Hamlin speaks his truth.
Well, didn't they say that Tyler Reddick said he was fast?
I don't know, man. I heard it from Denny Hamlin. I don't. That's
does kind of automatically mean it's bullshit. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. But I mean, yeah, he was nowhere. I at least expected him to be somewhat good in practice qualifying. Like the race is a whole nother animal. I mean, Ricky Stenhouse is driving out there. But like, it's just not an impressive run by Kamui. He wants to do it again. I mean, I think anybody that hops in need to do it a couple times for sure. But I want to impress with Kamui.
Yeah, I mean, everyone's not going to have a Shane Van Gisbergen type of debut. In fact, nobody does. It's Shane Van Gisbergen.
Yeah. But yeah, no, I really did expect more out of Kamui because I remember us watching it when he was running when I got introduced to Kamui Kobayashi was when he was running that Ally Cadillac during the Rolex 24 with Jimmy. And it was unreal how fast he was. And I was like, this motherfucker's good. And I mean, he is. He's absolutely fast as hell. And he's a hell of a driver. So I'd like to see Kamui come back. I like Kamui a lot. So
yeah. I'm glad he had fun, even being being battered up all day.
Yeah, I think one of the coolest things is he was at IRP just as a fan.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought that was really cool.
Yeah. I wish more guys did shit like that.
I know, right? Yeah. Let's see. Mike Rockenfeller run a couple races. He ran a Spire car. He ran today in the 42. He got the call to replace Noah, and he'll be in the car next week. Really didn't do much. He did about as good as that 40. I mean, he finished 24th.
That's not
That's
terrible.
solid. That's actually a hell of a run for that 42 car. Good. Never mind. I'm sorry, Mike Rockenfeller. That was a hell of a run there. And he beat Ricky Stenhouse.
That's not a high bar.
That's not a high bar, but, Ricky was coming for him. He was the Dodge Ram in your rearview mirror. let's see. Jensen Button finished 28th. He had a bit of a rough go. He got Stenhouse.
But to be fair, all the other Stewart-Haas cars were fucking terrible too.
Jensen Button, that's what I want to see him run the Roval too.
Yeah.
I love Jensen, dude. I just like Jensen a lot. Yeah. I think he just seems like a good dude. And he seems like he's having fun. He's fighting for his damn life back there, but he's having a good time. I don't know. That was it, right?
Yeah, that was it.
Yeah, no comment. Other than that, I want to see Shane back one more time this year.
I agree.
Yeah. Charlotte Roval, come on, let's go.
Let's do it.
I would imagine that's got to be it, right?
Yeah.
He ain't gonna. I kind of want to see him run an oval too.
I definitely want to see him run an oval.
This year, but I think the Charlotte Roval, like.
Fuck it, Bristol night race. Let's do this.
Oh, hell yeah. All right. Or better yet, put him in an Xfinity race at Bristol. That way, Junior can't butcher his name since he'll be in the race. Oh yeah, hold up. So Dale Jr. could pronounce his name properly, and then he got hanging around fucking Rick Allen. Who the fuck is Shane Van Gisbergen? Like, or I can't even say it how he was saying it.
Well, Junior still he separates the syllables when he says it. He says Van Gisbergen. And I'm like, you're just emphasizing too hard on the Bergen part, my guy. Yeah. It's really just say Gisbergen.
Yeah.
Van Gisbergen.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. Rick Allen says Van Gisbergen. Like, I can't even do it the way he does it. It's horrible, and it was annoying as hell.
I was sitting there thinking during the race, and I don't want to harp on people too bad, but at this point, if you still can't pronounce, like, none of these names were that hard. Like, listen to the Dale Jr. download this past week, and they were like, Kobayashi.
Kobayashi. Holy shit.
It's not that hard. And if you really,
none of this shit's that hard.
Well, and if you really can't pronounce it, go on YouTube and look it up. Listen, hear someone say his name. You can look up an old F1 race. Kamui Kobayashi was in that. You can look up a fucking Rolex 24. Someone will say his name somewhere. It's not that hard.
I'm surprised they didn't screw up Jensen Button.
God, I'm surprised they don't screw up who? They didn't screw up Rockefeller. That surprises me.
Yeah.
I feel like they would
screw up Ty Dillon.
I feel like they would screw up Chase Elliott's name if you put like a different flag to the left of his name that's not an American flag, they'd go.
That's the thing. They try too damn hard.
Yeah.
Yeah. By the way, hold up. I do want to I'll save that for my dumbass of the week. Write that down.
There was one time on the ticker where they spelled Chase Elliott's name wrong. I thought that was pretty funny.
That's funny. Yeah. That's it. That's all I had.
Was this a good race?
Yes. I thought it was a great race.
I did too.
What do you think? Okay.
I had a lot of fun with this race.
I had a fucking hell of a time with this race.
There were battles constantly, all the time. The lead never got more than 3 seconds.
Yeah.
I think. Maybe
the only reason, really the only reason it did was like, really, it was just because Suarez is picker. I mean,
yeah.
If that doesn't happen, then we see an absolute dogfight to the end. Restart zone, we only saw it used, I guess twice. The initial start and then the restart.
Yeah,
that worked great.
Success, absolute success.
77 laps, 188 miles of green flag racing. 2 hours and 10-minute race.
Phenomenal.
Yeah.
Perfect. It was perfect. Dude, I got done with the race. I was like, wow, I still got a day left.
Yeah.
I didn't spend 5 hours watching this race or what felt like 5 hours. I wasn't drained after watching this race.
Exactly. Yeah.
And I want to see more. Like I'm not ready to hit the off button on the TV the moment the race is over.
Dude, so many of these races, you're just like, please just let the shit end.
Yeah.
And this one was like, Yeah, I mean, it was just a good race. Like, I mean, there was nothing. It was like a perfect lunch. Just filled you right up. You weren't too bloated. You didn't. You could have had a little bit of room for dessert. You didn't need it. You didn't need the green white checkered at the end. But it was perfect. I thought it was great.
Yep.
Yeah, I
Agreed.
mean, I thought no stage cautions.
Needs to be everywhere.
Yeah, it needs to be everywhere. I think we need to campaign this. Like,
Hard.
we need to put up ads. Like, we need to, I don't know, buy billboards. No more stage cautions.
Get
No
a
more stage
billboard.
cautions.
Get a
Stage cautions.
billboard.
Stage cautions bad. Buddy good. Here. Yeah.
Have you been victimized by stage cautions? Better
Yes.
call Saul.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I thought that was perfect. And it was like, and it was only a 2 hour, 10-minute race, green flag runs. It pushed these drivers to their limit, dude. You saw a lot of guys get out of the car and they were catching their breath.
Yeah.
It's a hard fought race. And it was physical. It's physical mentally, physical mentally. It was
Fiscally. No.
yeah. Isn't that like Christmas or something?
That's like money.
Oh, okay.
The economy.
No.
I
Fiscal
never mind.
calendar. That's what I'm thinking of.
Yes.
Yeah. No, I mean, it was a mental race. It was a physical race. It was, if you were going to win this race, you had to have all the pieces. And Michael McDowell had all the pieces today, and I don't know. I thought the road course package was pretty good. I still think it needs, I don't know really what. No diffuser would probably help. But I mean, I didn't really notice dirty air being a thing. Chase Elliott was complaining about it a lot behind the 42, but other than that, I mean, everybody else seemed to navigate it fine today. Yeah, I mean, it was just all throughout the race. There was something to watch.
Yeah. I mean, I think there was definitely some dirty air because like there was definitely some issue with it. Cause I mean, I think that played into how many battles we had go on for so long. I think it caused that to some extent. But I don't think it wasn't a like major detriment to the race or anything. So I think it would be better without the diffuser though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was definitely the best Indy road race
by a mile.
Here, like that I've seen like ever across all series, really.
Yeah.
I don't
that rain IndyCar race was pretty fun, but
I don't remember that really. I don't think I watched it. But like especially at least NASCAR wise, we went to the
other two,
the first two, and they were interesting. It was obviously fun being at Indianapolis, but they weren't the best races in the world. The first one was kind of a shit show. The second one was rather a snooze fest. This one, if you were a racing fan and a racing purist, this is the race for you.
Yeah, I mean, I felt like the first one was fun until the end, and then last year had like no redeeming qualities whatsoever.
Yeah,
I felt, but yeah, I mean, this one was it felt to me like a total 180 on it because like it never really felt like, and I was worried about it to some extent as we got down to the end, but it never really felt like we were going to get a caution, but even if we did get a caution, it didn't feel like it was going to devolve. And it felt like that because we had set it up to where we couldn't really let it get that bad, luckily.
Yeah. And that's the thing. It's like, a lot of it comes down to drivers showing a little bit. I feel like drivers showed each other a little bit more respect. You had kind of the, the clowns there in the back, but, nothing too crazy. But yeah, I mean, it was, I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. It was, if you thought that race, one, needed stage cautions, and two, you didn't enjoy it, then you're not a racing fan.
Agreed. And I tweeted as such.
Yeah. I
It
also
seems
tweeted
like,
as such.
hey, did you? Okay.
Yes.
It seems as though the field collectively after Coda was like, okay, that was fucking embarrassing.
That's true. Yeah. I didn't even think about that. It has been kind of after Coda.
Yeah.
Things have really calmed down a lot on road courses. Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm glad. I hope it continues.
Yeah. Do we want the oval back?
I want to give it a try.
Yeah.
But I don't want to commit to it long term yet.
Yeah. That's the thing. Yeah. I'm kind of on the same boat. Like, part of me likes the idea of the Indianapolis 500 being the only race on the Indy oval. And then part of me kind of is also like, well, we were the only ones outside of the Indy 500 that was on the oval for the longest time. And I know a lot of the drivers don't feel the prestige of Indy because they're going around backwards. And it's obviously on the road course, but it's the race today. I mean, I don't want to look at it through rose colored glasses, but the race today made a case for the road course that, we can put on a good show here, a respectable show that, it takes all the pieces. And you're right there. You're at Indy. So I don't see why this isn't, as special. So I mean, I get why, but yeah, I don't know. I was kind of on the bandwagon of I definitely want the oval back because the first two were not great, but this kind of made me think a little bit more about it.
Yeah, so for me, like I was excited when they announced we're running the road course. Because historically the Brickyard 400 has been my most prominent nap period throughout the entire season. So I've never been a big fan of it. I do understand the prestige factor. I do understand that. Especially next year, or it'll be the 30-year anniversary. So I understand that too. But the other thing for me is you do not draw this level of international crowd, or not crowd, crop. You just don't draw that for the Indy Oval stock car race. And I don't know. I think that's at least worth considering when we bring this up.
Yeah.
Like I'm pretty sure Kamui Kobayashi ran this, not this exact variant of this track, but he was running back when Formula One was here. So that probably played into why you wanted to do this.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Like, that's why a lot of guys talk about it's not as special to run the road course as it is the oval. But that's, like you said, it brings in these guys because a lot of them are like, yeah, we're at Indy. This is a big deal. It's the world's greatest race course, as they call it. Like, doesn't matter if, oval, dirt track, road course, you're racing golf carts on the golf course. Like, it's Indianapolis. And I think that's a selling point for these internet, a lot of these international guys or just anybody from outside. Something that had kind of gone away with the oval. Cause I mean, the first few years of the oval, I mean, 86 cars showed up to the inaugural Brickyard 400. And I think I said to you the other night, that was a lot of it because the purse was huge. And for the longest time, Indy's purse was one of the biggest, and it might still be. But this, not as many guys are going to come try an oval race, whereas you have Indy, and it seems like even the past couple of years we saw, or last year, we saw Danny Kvyat run. We saw who else did we see last year? There was a couple. last year. I feel like not as many as Watkins Glen. It doesn't matter. It attracts this level of international stardom that I think can't be overlooked as far as it definitely brings more eyes to the TV screens. It doesn't as much to the actual track itself.
I don't even know though, because we'll have to compare it to next year, I would imagine. Yeah. And it's gonna be hard because people are gonna be more probably spread out for the oval race than they are for the road course race. But I get the feeling, the difference in feeling for some people. I get it. But when I'm at Indianapolis, it doesn't really matter what configuration we're running. I'm still like, damn, I'm at Indianapolis. That's just kind of the way I've always felt about it. When I've gone for the Indy 500, obviously the Indy 500 is up a notch, but I don't feel significantly less interested in it.
I definitely do. But
do you?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't. I just love being in Indianapolis either way.
There's a stark difference in experience for me. The first 4 days I was in Indianapolis in 2016 when I went for the GP, or first 3 days, I can't remember. And then the last 2 days I was there where they had Indy 500 practice. Very, very different. But that's also the Indy 500. But I definitely don't hold Indy to as much weight as I did when it was on the oval. But you got to build it. That's what I'm worried about. Doug Bowles kind of suggested that we kind of alternate years. I don't like that at all, because it's like you have this, you're gonna have the crowd who are like, I'm not going because it's on the road course, and it's gonna hurt consistent attendance. And I think obviously that's been a big point of contention for Indianapolis on the oval, and that's a lot of the reason why they moved it to the road course is just no one showed up. I think even less people are going to show up if you alternate it every year. I think if you got to pick one or the other, I think. And
it might make the oval crowd bigger if it's not every year though. If that's the thing people really want and it only happens every other year, I'm not really saying we should do this, but if that is what people really want and we only get it every other year, it probably would see an uptick.
Yeah. The doubleheader deal with IndyCar, it is not worked. I'll just put it bluntly.
It's not being implemented correctly, I feel.
It's not being implemented correctly. That's also true. But it's just, there's no crossover. We saw last year and the year before. The IndyCar race runs, bunch of people leave, and then more people show up for the Xfinity race. It is two different crowds. There isn't a whole lot of crossover. Yeah. And the next day, it is NASCAR fans. It's not IndyCar fans. It's not it hasn't worked. It's not, like you said, not implemented correctly. I don't.
I think this is, I honestly, I understand why they wanted to do this at Indianapolis. I think it's the wrong track for it because like I've said, I think this would work really well at Richmond, because you actually could get some crossover there because people who like NASCAR would be like, oh, okay. They probably think that Indy cars at Richmond were badass after watching Cup cars drive around there at what looks like 12 miles an hour after you've been watching them for 3 hours. But I just think, I think Indy road course is not the proper track for this.
Yeah.
Which is, honestly, it's unfortunate because I've enjoyed it. Both times we went, I enjoyed having the IndyCar race and then do the NASCAR stuff. I still feel like the IndyCar race should have been the headliner on Saturday. I think that was the biggest thing that they missed on.
Yeah, that's a thing. It just, I don't know. Yeah.
I get it. NASCAR's running the track, but it's still, it kind of defeats the purpose.
Move the oval race back to Saturday.
The Indy 500?
No. the fucking cup race.
Yeah.
Move it to Saturday. Oh,
Good work.
fuck it. Try it.
Yeah.
Try something. I mean, we're trying everything here apparently, but you for the longest time up until like 2001, it was on Saturday. It wasn't on Sunday.
Did they have weird rules about doing shit on Sunday?
No,
only the Indy 500 had.
Yeah, I don't know if it was that or what. So I don't know.
Yeah,
maybe that was it. It was Sunday just wanting the ticket.
Maybe.
Yeah.
The problem is TV would never allow that.
No, absolutely not. That's where they make their money too, off of Indy. Indy didn't make dick off of anything else.
Yeah. Except the Indy 500.
Yeah. Playoff bubble
got a little more confusing, of course.
Not
confusing, but
Kevin Harvick is going to miss the playoffs.
It's possible.
I think too. I think we're going to see two new winners, and I think Brad Keselowski is 100% going to eclipse Kevin Harvick.
Don't put that evil on me.
I mean, I'm just saying. I think Chase Elliott's got a damn good shot next week. He proved me wrong. I didn't think they had it on road courses. He'd been okay. He hadn't shown me that he had race winning speed on road courses. Today he did.
Man, Michael McDowell's going back to back. Don't let me just start with me.
Hey man. But I just I don't. I'm getting worried. Personal reasons.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think Chase is going to win too.
Yeah. Now, with that being said, I think Ty Gibbs, he didn't show up today, but I think he's someone you can't keep out of your mind. I think we shouldn't be shocked if Ty Gibbs showed up and had a shot at it.
I also wouldn't be shocked if Martin Truex won next week.
I also wouldn't be shocked if Martin Truex won next week either. But yeah, I think you're gonna see the kind of the same cast of characters that was good here today be good next week. Yeah.
I'm rethinking my pick now. I almost want to go McDowell.
See what happens. So let's talk about this. Daniel Suarez's pit crew.
Mm-hmm.
You had two pit stops this entire fucking race. You had to wait on fuel the second stop. The same thing, the 45, the same thing we were all bitching about last week about Tyler Reddick, and you fucked it up. You had a lights out car at the Coca-Cola 600 last year. We're gonna win the damn thing, and you fucked that up. Like, I mean, dude, this is fucking ridiculous, bro. Like, you would have had a shot at it. Like, you came from 9 seconds back and finished 5 seconds behind Michael McDowell. You could have beat him. If you don't have to beat him off pit road. You don't have to. You can lose a second. You were gonna win the race, and they fucked it up. Like, I mean, Daniel Suarez said he won the pole, and literally said, we just have to execute. And they didn't do it. Like, I mean, dude, this team can't keep shooting themselves in the fucking foot. Like, you don't have enough good race cars. I'm sorry. Like, you don't. You haven't had enough good race cars the entire fucking year. Like, a bunch of slapdick motherfuckers. Figure it out. Like, it's one lug nut. It's one lug nut.
But that wasn't the problem today.
I'm saying the overall pit stop, I don't know. I don't pit race cars. The overall pit stop should be simpler. It's damn sure faster. So slow it down a few tenths. Make sure you do it right, because there's just no reason for it. There's no reason they shouldn't have won this race today, other than they can't execute. It is Brian Blaney. It's the 45 team. It's not getting talked about enough. It's the same fucking thing with this team.
My only problem is that this was a weird incident. How many times has that happened?
I mean,
it's not like, look, it's not like it's, and I understand, no, they definitely screwed up, but it's like, It's not leaving a lug nut loose. It's not the jack falling off. It's not something like that. The damn hose kinks, and they didn't notice right away, and they dropped it on it. Like,
Dude,
that's weird.
there's a guy throwing the hose across. There's a technique to it. Like,
I
they
mean,
practice it.
I
They
understand.
practice 100 times a damn week.
I understand, but I've never seen
Like,
that happen.
a kink in the air hose has to be like priority. Like,
Wait,
I
so
mean,
hang on. Are you kink shaming the 99 team?
I'm absolutely kink shaming the 99 team. Like, my God. I'm just pissed off, man.
I thought you
Obviously,
were
I
better
have
than that.
I have some personal stake in it. But I mean, goddamn. Like, it goes back to the Michael McDowell thing. Michael McDowell has won 200% of the races he should have won. The 99 team, I mean, Daniel he's had some races where he could have won. And it's 9 times out of 10, it is a mechanical issue or it's a bad pit stop. I mean, you look at Coda last year, you look at the Roval last year, you look at the Coke 600, you look at this race. It is all on the team. Daniel screwed up. He would have won the Southern 500. He sped on pit road. And it's just overall that team needs to get better.
No argument for me.
Oh, I don't know. Just rant over. I'm just fucking pissed off. Ruined the race too. It was gonna be a hell of a race. Ruined it. Still a good race, but ruined it.
Didn't ruin it.
No, it didn't ruin it. Anyway. Looking at the actual grid, Chase Elliott is 80 points back. Alex Bowman is also 80 points back. Here's something I want to point out. Alex Bowman is going to miss the playoffs because he missed races. Chase Elliott is going to miss the playoffs because he lost his temper.
Chase missed 4 more races.
I'm just saying that, and this is pending how close Chase gets, but if Chase gets back in that 40, 50 point range, as far as like back of the cut line, which that's obviously could change, barring a new winner. You got to look at it as you gave this up. You gave up 2 races, which and who's the 9 car? I don't know where he was running at 600. Probably would have run 15th. He's in that kind of range of points he missed out on at the 600 and at Gateway just because he threw a fucking hissy fit.
Yeah.
And I mean, Alex Bowman, I've said, he got the penalty. He got the penalty. Like that, you can't argue it. But something to be said that Chase Elliott wasn't absent, and so he didn't get that same penalty that, the 48 team got. So
the 24 and the 48 were the only ones that got that penalty.
Well, yeah, it's true. But I don't know. It's just they're not the same, is what I'm saying. There's a lot of pointing fingers and why is this kind of stems from the fact that a lot of people are saying, well, Chase has missed this many more races than Alex Bowman. Why is Bowman, back there? I mean,
because they run like fair. Ass.
Yeah. I don't know. It just, it's 2 different scenarios here that are getting pinned as the same.
Yeah. The point is that Elliott's going to miss the playoffs because he threw a fit, and Bowman's missing it because they've been bad. It's not the same.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's all for naught because Chase Elliott is going to win next week.
Probably, yeah.
Like 100%, like 98.6% likely.
I don't think it's that likely, but it's, yeah.
If I had him available, if I hadn't used him at Chicago, I would absolutely be using him today.
Yeah.
But I'm an idiot. So,
Anyway, yeah. Bottom line is like Alex is going to miss these playoffs without a win because he missed races. Chase is going to miss because he blew his head off his shoulders. And let that be known. Other than that, Bubba Wallace is plus 20 on the cut line. Daniel Suarez is minus 28. That's not out of the if we don't get a new winner, that's not out of the realm of possibility that Suarez could eclipse Bubba Wallace
Certainly
in points, which I didn't think was anywhere close to being a thing 2 weeks ago. And here we are.
Wow. This is exactly what we talked about last week.
Yeah. I mean,
yeah. The new winner helped, obviously, but is what it is.
Mm-hmm. Dumbass.
Twitter and Joey Logano.
Joey was on my list. Ricky was on my list. The 99 crew was on my list. Adam Alexander, though, I think I'm going to have to give it to him.
What did Adam out? So I listened to some of his commentary.
I turned on the NASCAR race day. The first thing I hear is SVG's got a lot of fans here. You see the New Zealand flag that guy's adorning. He had had the flag as a cape. It was not the New Zealand flag. It was the Australian flag.
That's fantastic.
Yeah. So Adam Alexander, congratulations. You get the dumbass award. Sundress.
I just went with Michael McDowell.
I'm gonna go with somebody different.
I did curate some since I'm apparently the curator of the Big Motor Small Blade podcast, I did curate some terrible comments from Instagram and Twitter. I'd like to read one now while Buddy's thinking.
Let me finish. Let me figure out my sundress.
Well, we gotta be doing things while you're not doing anything. Here's a prediction. Here's a prediction from this guy who I'm not gonna lambast by putting his name on here, but he said, I hate to predict it, but Alex and Chase will not make it unless Chase wins next week and the whole HMS group push Alex to a Daytona win the week after. Well, I'm glad you did predict it because that's 100% the only way it's going to happen.
Yeah. Yeah. Groundbreaking. Give that man a hard card.
Yeah. Dude needs a YouTube channel stat.
Yeah. We need to just quit. That guy's got us covered by a long shot.
And he hates to predict it.
Yeah.
Clearly.
Yeah,
so.
he really does. He really does. So anyway, that guy gets my sundress for that dumbass comment.
There's also my other favorite comment about Tyler Reddick looks like he's about to tell you his favorite dinosaur. And,
yeah.
And now I really want to ask Tyler Reddick what his favorite dinosaur is because I'm really curious now.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Cool.
But if we ever meet Michael McDowell, I have to ask him his favorite dinosaur because his name is Michael and that is our thing.
Okay. So who are you picking for Watkins Glen?
Who's your
sundress? Hold on. I just said
he was your actual sundress?
Yeah, sure. Why not? Fuck
okay.
It. Well, hold on. I won the picks.
Yeah, you did.
So I'm going first.
That's not how this works. Loser goes first.
But last week I won and I went first.
No, we just said you'll pick Shane, I'll pick Brodie.
That's
how I've always operated under it.
Oh, okay. Well, then who are you picking?
Alex Bowman, ready to be hurt again.
Okay. I mean, it's probably not, but he finished top 5 day.
It's true.
I'm picking Michael McDowell again. I'm out of winners, so I'm just going.
Yeah, I knew. So I knew that in one of the last 2 weeks, I had to use my Denny Hamlin again since it's 2 for 2 so far.
Yeah.
So I'm just gonna hold that for next week. I figured he's pretty good at Daytona most of the time, so that's my pick for Daytona too. I'll go ahead. Now you know.
Well, who am I picking for Daytona? I don't think I have Denny available.
No, you definitely do not have Denny available.
You think Noah will be back?
You can pick him.
Oh, Let me not Casey boat it here. Next week, the Glen, like we said, Chase, probably the same group of people that were good here is going to be good at the Glen.
Chase is definitely going to win.
I hope not.
I'm just going to keep saying it, and I'm either right or I'm happy about it.
I really want the reason he misses the playoffs be because he pitched a bitch. And, yeah. That's not me calling Denny Hamlin a bitch, even though he kind of is a bitch.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's it. That's all I got.
Same.
Yeah. All right, so that's been the Big Motor Small Blade podcast. I'm Buddy Bully. I'm fucking Sundress. I'm not fucking Sundress. I don't know who Sundress is. I'm not fucking that guy on Instagram.
Yeah,
it's fucking weird. Yeah, I'm good. Yeah. Subscribe for some reason.
Subscribe for more Shane Van Gisbergen content.